I Have the Power. He-Man wasn't just a flashy animated kids show. It was a corporate gamble that rewired television history. It wasn't Saturday morning fun. It was a battlefield of studio demands, broken rules, and risky shortcuts that nearly collapsed the entire production. Behind those neon skies and muscle-packed poses lurked chaos, exhausted animators, malfunctioning equipment, bizarre censorship battles, and a toy company calling the shots. What audiences didn't know was how close this show comes to failing before it even launches. Today, we reveal 15 wild facts about He-Man, each stranger than the last. Fact number 15. He-Man exists only because a toy deal collapsed. He-Man isn't born from pure creativity. It erupts from failure. In the late 70s, Mattel passes on producing toys for Star Wars because executives mistakenly believe the movie will flop. That blunder devastates the company internally. Not a small loss, but a brutal one. Executives scramble for something huge that can claw back relevance. What audiences didn't know is that He-Man becomes a direct reaction to corporate embarrassment. Artists are ordered to design a heroic figure who can compete with science fiction juggernauts without paying for a license. Early sketches swing wildly: barbarians with helmets, cyber knights, space gladiators. It isn't art leading the way, it is desperation. The pitch Bible is assembled overnight. The world building is rushed but ambitious. He-Man isn't a character born from a writer's dream. He is a product forged in panic, and that tension shapes everything that comes next. Fact number 14. The show is created to dodge FCC rules.
I offer you a bargain. I will give you all.
He-Man doesn't just push boundaries, it sidesteps them. In the early 80s, children's television faces intense FCC restrictions, limiting how much programming can tie directly to merchandise. Networks are terrified of being penalized. But syndication offers a loophole. No network, no Saturday morning slot, no FCC restrictions. Just open space. Filmation seizes the opportunity. Not a slow attempt, but a radical pivot. They produce a 5-day-a-week animated series at breakneck speed, specifically to promote Mattel's Masters of the Universe toy line while avoiding legal backlash. It is the first of its kind. The crew works insane hours. Call sheets run until dawn. Writers must slip moral lessons into every episode to soften the commercial intent. By the power of Grayskull isn't just a catchphrase. It becomes a defensive shield.
By the power of Grayskull!
He-Man isn't built for TV storytelling. It is engineered to survive regulation. And somehow, it works. Fact number 13. Prince Adam is invented at the last second.
This is how they treat their own kind. We're lost.
No, there is.
What audiences didn't know is that Prince Adam does not exist in the original toy line or early lore. He appears because producers panic. They need a narrative device allowing He-Man to transform on-screen without portraying constant violence. Not a creative flourish, but a protective measure. Writers craft Adam overnight. His design steals elements from existing animation models to save time. Some animators even joke that he looks suspiciously like a blonde superhero from another studio. His transformation sequence is produced first because Filmation hopes to reuse it endlessly and save weeks of labor. The dual identity shifts everything. It turns a simple barbarian toy into a character with mythic tension. It allows quieter scenes. It gives animators breathing room. And yet fans assume he is foundational. The truth is sharper. Prince Adam isn't destiny. He is a production band-aid that accidentally becomes canon. Fact number 12. Filmation recycles.
Our village of Noella was quiet, peaceful, but it would not remain that way.
Animation on an industrial scale. He-Man doesn't just reuse shots. It recycles them with surgical precision. Filmation is infamous for limited animation, but the He-Man schedule forces the studio to push those limits to extremes. Walk cycles, punch loops, reaction shots. Even entire fight sequences are duplicated across episodes. Animators lean on black outlines and static backgrounds to mask repetition. Dailies sometimes reveal dozens of reused frames back to back. It isn't laziness, it is survival. The studio must deliver 65 full episodes in a single season, a quantity unheard of today. Some sequences fail to render correctly. Models slip off register. Ink layers misalign. Characters float above the ground because the background plates don't match. But deadlines crush everyone. "Ship it" becomes a mantra whispered across the floor. Audiences see a colorful fantasy world. Behind the curtain, it is a mechanical assembly line held together by exhausted artists racing against time. Fact number 11. Skeletor's voice actor, record sessions in near chaos.
He-Man, here, let me show you. Perhaps it will help us to pass the time more quickly.
Skeletor's iconic voice emerges from turmoil. Actor Alan Oppenheimer doesn't receive detailed direction. Instead, he is told, make him sound evil but funny. Not specific but chaotic. He experiments with cackles so wild that engineers struggle to balance the audio levels. The booth erupts with laughter and retakes. He performs multiple characters per episode, sometimes switching voices mid-sentence because the call sheet demands efficiency. Oppenheimer later admits that he invents Skeletor's signature snarl by accident while clearing his throat between takes. It sticks instantly. Meanwhile, animators can't match his energy. The mouth movement models are too stiff. They trim syllables to make scenes sync. Editors slice lines apart in the dailies room and reassemble them like puzzles. Skeletor becomes unforgettable, not because of careful planning, but because chaos births personality. The villain's voice carries more character than the animation can contain. Fact number 10. A single transformation scene.
Would be no return.
Until now, that is.
That is correct, He-Man.
Saves the entire production. He-Man's transformation sequence is not a stylistic choice. It is a survival tool. Filmation knows it cannot animate dozens of unique actions, beats for every episode, not with the brutal deadlines and non-stop syndication pressure crushing the studio floor. So they design one elaborate transformation shot and intend to reuse it endlessly. It is not creativity. It is strategy. Animators pour more energy into this single sequence than almost anything else in the show. Light beams, power bursts, dramatic camera sweeps. Every detail must be perfect because it will appear hundreds of times. Dailies show crew members staring at the finished version like it is a lifeline. This is also where the mid-roll hook sits in spirit. If you are still watching, go ahead and like and subscribe, because the deeper we go, the stranger this story becomes. Audiences see magic. Filmation sees a pressure valve that keeps the entire machine from collapsing. Fact number 9. Eternia's lore is built backwards.
Was he a sorcerer?
Yes, once, a very long time ago.
Eternia does not begin as a carefully planned universe. It grows in reverse. Mattel designs toys first. Then writers scramble to build mythology that can justify every strange shape and neon design. Not a world created for emotion, but a world sculpted to protect toy sales. Some characters appear before writers even know what they are. Beastman, Merman, Triclops. The names sound powerful, but nothing connects them narratively. Script meetings turn into lore triage. Writers stitch together histories overnight to explain why these figures exist. Filmation must invent royal families, magical orders, ancient ruins, and cosmic portals at lightning speed. What audiences do not know is how often the lore contradicts itself in early drafts. Entire ideas collapse before lunch. And yet somehow Eternia grows into a mythic landscape. Not deliberate, but accidental evolution born from commercial pressure. Fact number 8. The crew faces constant power failures.
I'll be all right. The gem. Destroy the gem.
Filmation's building in Reseda is notorious for electrical instability. Production is so demanding that machines often overload the grid. Lights flicker, tape decks jam, ink and paint dryers stall mid-cycle, leaving cells half-finished. Animators joke that Skeletor is haunting the studio. These power drops are not mild. They erupt at the worst moments. Entire scenes vanish when machines shut down during rendering passes. Crews must redo hours of work while supervisors scramble to protect deadlines. Tempers flare. Coffee cups fly. But the machine keeps moving. To make matters worse, the studio installs emergency lighting that casts everything in sickly yellow. Artists paint in near gloom, trying to match colors by instinct rather than precision. The fact that the series meets its air dates feels impossible. He-Man survives electrical chaos that would have buried lesser productions. Fact number 7. Voice actors often record without seeing scripts. First,
Destroy it, and he cannot come through.
Then let's do it.
the pace is so relentless that scripts sometimes arrive only moments before recording sessions. Actors walk into the booth with no idea what adventure awaits them. Not a smooth process, but pure. Improvisational combat. Directors hand out pages while engineers adjust microphones. Actors flip through the dialogue attempting to locate emotional beats with zero preparation. Some lines are rewritten mid-session. Others disappear when animators later remove entire scenes to reduce workload. It is creative whiplash. Yet something incredible happens. This speed forces unexpected spontaneity. The laughter in Orko's lines, the dry bite in Man-at-Arm's voice, the menacing pauses in Skeletor's threats. These tones emerge not from rehearsals, but from instinct under pressure. Audiences hear polished confidence, but behind the glass actors are leaping without safety nets. Fact number 6. He-Man's muscles cause major technical problems.
For days, working on his new invention. Must be something really special.
Just can't.
Filmation does not have rigs designed for bodies as massive as He-Man's. His bulk breaks the animation pipeline, literally. Standard walk cycles do not work for a character with such exaggerated proportions. Arms clip through chests, legs bend unnaturally, shoulder plates detach from models as if escaping gravity. Animators redesign everything from scratch. New model sheets, new skeletal guides, new shading layers. The effort slows production to a crawl. When animators test the first battle sequences, they discover that He-Man's frame refuses to move fluidly. Every motion looks robotic. They solve the problem by reducing movement. Not dynamic choreography, but bold still poses, heroic holds, deliberate slow swings that mask the limitations of the model. This technical flaw accidentally becomes a visual signature. He-Man does not move often, but when he does, it feels monumental. Fact number 5. The moral lessons are added under pressure.
Did it. Thank you.
No, we did it. Thanks to you.
He-Man is famous for its moral lessons at the end of each episode, but these are not planned from the start. They are emergency additions. Mattel grows nervous about criticism, claiming the show exists only to sell toys. So Filmation is ordered to insert educational messages that soften the commercial edge. Not inspiration, but survival. Writers scramble to craft short lessons that match episodes already in production. Some do not match at all. Editors slide in new lines, hoping children will not notice the mismatch between the adventure and the message. Animators often reuse stock footage of characters standing in neutral poses because there is no time to animate anything fresh. What audiences never realize is that these lessons help protect the show from regulatory pushback. Not moral guidance, but a shield disguised as kindness. And yet, the strategy works. Generations remember He-Man as a heroic voice, not a product pitch. Fact number 4. Orko exists because the studio wants to hide mistakes.
No time to think.
Back, Nova. Back to your...
Orko's floating body cloak and simple shape are not whimsical design choices. They are strategic. Filmation needs a character that can cover technical errors and fill scenes without requiring complex animation. Orko becomes the perfect solution. No legs, no complex. Shadows. No difficult motion paths. His magic tricks also help animators hide visual glitches. Spark effects blur awkward transitions. Smoke puffs conceal sloppy cuts. When ink and paint teams fall behind, Orko scenes are extended because his model is easy to composite. He becomes a mascot created from necessity, not creativity. Yet in the booth, Orko evolves. Voice actor Lou Scheimer injects warmth, charm, and frantic energy. Children adore him. The accidental filler character becomes emotional glue that holds the tone of the show together. Sometimes the production shortcuts create the most memorable pieces of the myth. Fact number 3. The Sword of Power is redesigned again and again.
See for yourself.
The Sword of Power is a nightmare for animators. Its reflective surface creates shading rules that the studio simply cannot maintain at high speed. Artists struggle with light consistency. Frames wobble, highlights bounce unpredictably. Every animator seems to draw it differently. It is chaos. Supervisors attempt to standardize the blade. New model sheets, new light guides, new angle charts, none solve the issue. The sword refuses to behave. It causes so many delays that producers consider simplifying it into a flat shape with minimal detail. But the sword is too important to the brand. Eventually, a compromise forms. Animators simplify reflections and rely on bright flare effects to hide inconsistencies. Not perfection, but manageable illusion. The final sword that audiences see is a patchwork of different artistic hands stitched together under crushing deadlines. It becomes iconic not because of precision, but because the show refuses to give up on it. Fact number 2. He-Man's Strength Forces, Dangerous Recording Sessions.
They're not going anywhere. At least not where they think they're going.
The sound team faces a unique challenge. He-Man's super strength requires massive impact sounds, but libraries lack suitable effects. So engineers create new ones using physical props, not gentle experiments. Brutal sessions where staff smash lumber against concrete, break cinder blocks, and slam heavy metal sheets on padded floors. These violent Foley sessions shake the building. Dust falls from rafters. Tape reels rattle. Engineers wear gloves to avoid splinters. Security sometimes checks on the noise-thinking equipment has exploded. The raw audio is so intense that editors must tame it in the dailies. They filter hiss, adjust pacing, and layer effects until the punches feel powerful without blowing out TV speakers. What audiences hear as heroic thuds are in truth the echo of exhausted staff pushing physics to the limit. He-Man's power is built from human bruises and real-world weight. Fact number 1. The show nearly collapses before premiere day.
The communicator has been destroyed.
Then we'll make our report in person.
As the first air date approaches, Filmation is drowning in unfinished episodes. Scenes are incomplete. Music cues are missing. Dialogue loops wait in chaotic stacks. Supervisors sprint across hallways, clutching cells still wet from paint. It is not orderly production. It is emergency. Triage. Editors work through nights assembling sequences minutes before broadcast delivery. Colorists sleep beside machines. Writers revise lines as episodes are already being cut. No one believes they will make the deadline. But calling stations to delay the premiere would mean losing ground to rival toy companies. Failure is not an option. In the final hours, the team finishes enough episodes to launch the series. The moment the first broadcast hits, the air is met with exhausted cheers across the studio. He-Man begins not with triumph, but with pure survival instinct. Bonus fact: a lost episode, rumor terrifies collectors. For years, fans whisper about a missing He-Man episode allegedly produced, then pulled after internal disputes. The rumor claims animators test a darker storyline exploring Skeletor's origins only for executives to shut it down instantly. No footage surfaces. No staff openly confirms it, but fragments appear in interviews, offhand remarks, hints that something once existed. Some say early pencil tests are sealed in a warehouse vault. Others insist the episode never progresses beyond loose storyboards. The truth sits somewhere between myth and memory. What matters is the fear it creates in collectors. The idea of a forbidden piece of He-Man history heightens the show's legend. Legacy grows not from certainty, but from mystery. He-Man remains a cultural giant because it is built on passion, pressure, and secrets still unfolding.